What is happening, you wonderful people? So I just got home a little bit ago from seeing The Running Man. And in this film, in the near future, The Running Man is a top-rated show on television, a deadly competition where contestants must survive 30 days while being hunted by professional assassins. Desperate for money to save his sick daughter, Ben Richards is convinced by the show's ruthless producer to enter the game as a last resort. Ratings soon skyrocket as Ben's defiance, instincts, and grit turn him into an unexpected fan favorite as well as a threat to the entire system. That's all I can say without giving too much away. Let's talk about it.
What's your favorite scary movie?
So The Running Man, this is a film this year that I had absolutely no expectations for. I had no excitement for, but they released the first trailer for it months ago, earlier this year, and I was like, man, this actually looks like a lot of fun. I haven't seen much of Edgar Wright's filmography, but I definitely want to dive more into his filmography. I have seen Scott Pilgrim. I really enjoy Scott Pilgrim, and Baby Driver, I haven't seen all of it. I definitely want to finish it because the opening to that movie is one of the best openings in cinematic history. It's so fun. It's just great. And with this film, Glen Powell is one of my favorite actors, and Josh Brolin is arguably one of my favorite actors. And when the trailers came out, you know, in the trailer, you see Josh Brolin, you see Glen Powell, you see Coleman Domingo, you see William H. Macy, Daniel Ezra, Michael Cera, the list goes on and on and on. So this movie's cast is stacked, and Edgar Wright as well, even though I'm not too familiar with his work, but while I have seen some of his work, he's a very unique director. He's a very nuanced and very detailed director, and I thought the trailers and marketing it has been great for this film. And after having now seen it, this movie, it's not a top 10 film of the year, but it is one of my favorite movies of the year. It's an absolute hoot, and it is an absolute blast. So if you're new to my channel, or if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I talk about my positives first, and then I talk about my negatives later, because while I am positive sometimes I will be negative, but even when I need to be negative, I will be positive. And overall with this film, The Running Man, I absolutely love this film. I walked out absolutely having a blast. It's not a perfect film, it's not a top 10 film of the year, but it is just an entertaining blockbuster that you can take your dad to go see, or your grandpa, or your uncle, or your dad, grandpa, and uncles, and just to have fun, to turn your brain off, and to just sit back and go, dang, that was a fun film. Man, I already want to go see that again. And they gave me a free t-shirt as well. I went to early screening. This film releases in a few days from now. This was an advanced screening tonight. And it really was a fun film. And I think that for starters of performances, I think the performances were really great in here. Everybody had their time to shine for the most part. Whether it's Glen Powell, whether it's Josh Brolin, whether it's Coleman Domingo, Katie O'Brien, Michael Cera, everybody just, they had something to work with. And you know Edgar Wright, he's a fantastic director. He's such a very nuanced, like I mentioned earlier. He's a very detailed director. He's a very unique director, like I mentioned earlier as well. And with this film, you know, Glen Powell brings the rage and the grit. He brings the strength and the charisma. And I thought he was really great as Ben Richards. I thought he was really great as our lead in here, and you feel his struggle, because the main premise of this movie is The Running Man is a show, a competition where you have to survive for 30 days. And the thing with him, his story that we're introduced to, that we're shown, his story that we're shown in the film, is that he has a wife and a daughter. His daughter is sick, and the job he has is blacklisted. He doesn't have money. He does not have money at all. So he goes to this competition, and that's where we have our story. That's where the story kicks in. And the thing is too, with Coleman Domingo, I was so excited to see Coleman Domingo in this film, and the reason being is because Coleman Domingo is a great actor, he is, but also at the same time, the way they showed him in the trailers, I was like, I cannot wait to see this film because of what they showed him doing in the trailers. He brought in the film, when you see him in the film, he brought the chaos, the high octane energy. He brought just the craziness and just the character that's all over the place, but in a good way. And I love his character in this film. And Josh Brolin is more menacing than ever. And I really think that he played such a good villain in here. He played a villain that you just want to punch right in the face. You just want to knock him clean out. He made me so mad in the film, and you just feel the rage and just the dread, and you just feel the grit, and you feel the rawness of it. And Michael Cera is not in it for long, but Michael Cera, it was really cool to see him in here. It felt like, in a way, Michael Cera's character was kind of a throwaway character, and I feel like because Edgar Wright has worked with Michael Cera before, I feel like he kind of just asked him to come back just for fun, which is not a bad thing, you know. But William H. Macy, I haven't seen him in a long time. Doesn't have a big role, but really cool to see him in here. Same with Daniel Ezra, doesn't have a big role in here. Really cool to see him though. Katie O'Brien and everybody else in here is really great. But the thing with this film is it really does feel like an Edgar Wright film. It does. It has that Edgar Wright vibe. It has that Edgar Wright feel. It has that Edgar Wright look, you know, and it really has that artistic flair that you're used to in his films. And I really think, for the most part, the pacing's fine. The pacing's okay. I was not bored. I definitely was not bored. And it has that great aesthetic. It has that great atmosphere. I think it's a very well-directed film. I think it's shot beautifully. It has that dystopian color grading. It has a dystopian look and vibe, right, which I really dug. And I really think that, you know, it is intense, it is violent, and it is thrilling, and it kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat at times, and it really keeps you on your toes, and it makes you think about our world today and the themes that are talked about and shown in this film can really they're kind of the same with what's going on in our world today. And when you watch the film, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll be like, oh, that's what he was talking about, and I totally get that. And it really just, it makes you also think about what you would do if you were in this situation, because I don't know what I would do in this situation, having to survive for 30 days while being hunted. That is just, it's insane. And I love the cat and mouse aspect of this movie as well. And honestly, it does have its own sense of humor as well, and it's actually quite funny. Like, I was laughing at moments. It's not hysterical. I was like over the top laughing, but I think that it does have a good sense of humor as well. And it just, again, I wasn't bored. I was entertained, and it keeps you guessing, and it makes you just, again, it makes you think about the world that we live in today. And it's just, overall, it is an entertaining thrill ride from beginning to end. Now, touching on a few of my negatives, I'll just be real quick right now. I don't have very many. I only have like maybe two, maybe more. If I thought about it, I'd probably have more, but I really only wrote down two in a way. And I think that, you know, I mentioned pacing earlier, and I think the pacing's good for the most part. It is for the most part, but I feel like there are some issues that you run into in this film, because at first it kind of felt fast, but then it started to like drag here and there towards the second and third act, and it didn't really take me out of the film because I was so entertained. I was so just into it. I was locked in, and I was enjoying what I was seeing. But it just, I feel like right when it opens is very fast paced. Like, they get you into it, and there's really no build up, which I would have liked there to be a little bit more build up. And with the story, you know, I've never seen the original one from '87. I've never read the book. I know this film is based more on the book, and the original's not. This one, it's a very simple story. Like, you know where it's gonna go. You kind of know what's gonna happen at the end, and at the same time, you're like, oh, is it gonna go a different way? Oh, I didn't expect them to do that at the end. They did that. Wow, they're going down that route. But it also, at the very end, something happens that you're like, oh, I expected that to happen. So it is a simple story, but at the same time, the simplicity of it really didn't take me out of it. So yeah, overall, with The Running Man, this is a film this year that I had absolutely no expectations for, but Glen Powell is one of my favorite actors, Josh Brolin's one of my favorite actors, and Edgar Wright is a very unique director. He's a very detailed director, and I love the trailer, so I was like, oh, I absolutely cannot wait to see this film. So with The Running Man, I will give this film a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely had a blast with this film, and with The Running Man, I will say definitely dedicate your time. If you're an Edgar Wright fan, if you're a fan of these type of dystopian movies, if you're a Glen Powell fan, if you're a Stephen King fan, I think you you really will enjoy this film. Now to wrap up this video, thank y'all so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, comment, share in this video. We just hit 1K subs a while back. We're now at 1.1K. Next big milestone is 2K and 3K after that, beyond that as well. And if you're new as well, I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, movie live streams, movie news, movie rankings, all that wonderful movie stuff under the movie umbrella. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Did you like this film? Did y'all not like this film? What's y'all's favorite Edgar Wright film? What's y'all's least favorite Edgar Wright film? Let's talk about it down below. Keep talking movies, wonderful people. Cheers.